Okay, this is the deer barrier that Dean and I made, and actually he thought everything up and I just did what he said to do. But the deer were just getting in and decimating the garden, and we tried the plastic netting, which was I think I paid about $16 a piece for 2 rolls, and it did not work at all. The deer like burst right through it, tore it down, etc. So then we put up chicken wire, 150 feet of 2-inch mesh. The cheapest I could find was the 2-inch mesh, 60 inches wide, 150 feet for, it was about $80, and everything else is about 3 times as expensive. And I could only get 1 roll of that. So anyway, we put it up, and Dean had carbon fiber tubes, which are really strong. I mean, they're used as airplane wing struts, and the deer tore down the chicken wire and broke the carbon fiber tubing. God. So we got this idea to eliminate their jump zone. Instead of building a tall fence, which could easily cost, I'm thinking like $2,500 easily.
Yeah.
Easy. For the tall posts, and the wire is outrageously expensive. And, so $2,500 for everything at least to build a tall fence. And people tell me they go right over it anyway, or they tear it down, So, this baling twine is 240-pound test, and it's, there are 6,500 feet in a roll. We had to buy 2 rolls, and there's at least 2 miles of twine in this project. And it goes around probably, 400 feet at least?
About 350.
350. So, we just kind of made a netting. I investigated baling net like they use on those great big hay baling machines that make the big round bales. But it was kind of expensive, and nobody around here had it. And we needed this now because the deer were just coming in every day, every night. And it was basically, I think, 1 or 2 individuals that just got it in her head she could come in here and eat everything. But, she's going to tell 2 friends and so on and so on. But anyway, so for $80 of twine, and then we built this part right here in this part of the yard in 1 evening. Dean's thinking it was a long day, but I don't remember it being like that. I remember us starting kind of in the afternoon and then working until it was dark on this, kind of figuring out what we were doing.
And this side's the sloppy end of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good as the rest.
Yeah.
Not that it looks that good, but
I think it's really neat.
It works really well.
I do. I think it's cool. I think a lot of people would think, oh God, what a monstrosity in my nice green chemically treated yard. Whatever, but I love it. I mean, it serves its purpose. It was really cheap, so I'm really proud of us for doing this, constructing this whole thing. And it basically took us 3.5 days, because we built this whole thing around to the other side.
I would say about 10 hours of work, really.
Yeah, in 1 day. And then we did this top part up here, and we did that yesterday. And then Dean came out and did this zigzagging along the kind of the bottom 2 rows of the top part this morning, and you said it took you about an hour or so.
Hour and a half, maybe.
So for $80 worth of twine, and like 3 days of work or something. We didn't have to spend, you know, thousands of bucks on a deer fence, and, you know, it's working. It keeps the deer out. Initially, I thought the dogs would patrol and keep the deer out, but they just kind of got used to the deer, and the deer got used to them. Sometimes they didn't hear the deer coming in, and if they did see them in there, then sometimes they'd charge them. But it is dangerous because we've had dogs stomped on by deer. Deer are dangerous, so it's not just a matter of wanting to grow nice corn and tomatoes. You know, it's not okay to have them in the fucking yard. So, I just really like how Dean thought all this up. And, I mean, he had this idea for the top part, and it's all nice and tight. So eventually it will degrade and fray. It's polypropylene, so it's supposed to last, I'm hoping it'll last about 5 or 6 years. It might not last that long, but then we'll get the baling net and use the baling net. And then we won't have to string all this twine and tie all those knots. That was a little hard on the hand bones, tying all those knots.
I should be able to play bass really well now.
Your hands are all strengthened.
Yeah.
See
Your fingers got all blistered up.
Yeah, I got blisters. So this part has been up for over a week, and no deer have gotten in.
Angle upward a little more.
Okay. I'm going to go over and check out the other side too.